Hey traders, welcome to the week ahead and my top picks for this week. I just want to focus on half a dozen currencies and try to make these videos a little bit shorter. Risk disclaimer, we need to do this before we start. You understand the deal, you can read that in your own time, but it's on the video. Let's get right into the charts. So the first thing I want to do is take a look at the DAX. Not the DAX, DXY, dollar index, US dollar index. Okay. So we've seen a move up, and you can see the key areas here. They're pretty self-explanatory. We break below this, but this area through here has been holding. 4 weeks ago we did have a breakdown, and then it's lifted up, then it's come back down, retested, and broken through this key area of 100 again, and we've been on the way up. It's a strong start, really, to the week so far. And if we go back and have a look at the daily chart, you can see that it's just starting to edge up again. So that correlates with the USD crosses, and with the Aussie USD, you can see the move up that we had, and that was the move down on the US dollar index. That was this move down here. Now that we've started to come back up again, you can see on the Aussie USD that the last few days last week it started to edge down. Now the reason I didn't want to take this trade earlier is because of the volatile nature of the market that we're in. There's plenty of money to be made. You just got to be a little bit more sensible. Normal market conditions, technicals aren't playing out as they should under normal market conditions. So yes, if I've had time to sit in front of my computer, I could have got this little scalp. I'm not interested in those sorts of trades at present. This is the moves that I want. So in order for this to give me an entry again, I have to wait for a break of that 60 cents and a close, and I've just got pending orders sitting in at about 5,900, 800 kind of thing, 600, 700, just under there. Now, if this level holds and forms a bullish signal, it could give us a clue that it wants to make a move up. So this is either a pullback or it's not. So let the market tell you. And if this plays out with a strong bullish signal, I'm going to be watching it. And I may well dip my toe in the water just here at around 61. But I'd have to see some weakness in the US dollar. So that's the proviso if I do take this north. I need to see weakness in the US dollar index this week, and then I would dip my toe in the water with a couple of small lot sizes, and then once we take out this high, that's when I would step in with a bit bigger lot sizes, protecting the profit on this, and away we'd go. But right now I still tend to think that we are going to see some more movement down. Okay, the next one, that's the first one on my watch list. The next one is the Euro USD. Very similar again, dollar index, when it was coming down the week before last, we saw this come up. And now we're down to a key area again of support. And it comes in right in about here. I have two pending orders waiting under here. And again, the same rules apply. 109 for the euro is a very interesting number and a key area, but I would want to see a bullish signal and a close above here, dip my toe into the water again, and then just very low lot size, very tight risk reward ratio, and be looking for this move up. That's how I'd play it. That's how I plan to play it. but this is what I'm looking for. I'm looking for this continued move down. As long, let me give you the criteria, as long as the US dollar index continues to pull up and get stronger, this is the move that I'm looking for. But in these market conditions, anything can happen and you need to be flexible. So this is the setup if I'm going to have a crack at this. Dip my toe in the water. By the time I get to here, if we take this key level out, I've got enough in this little weeny trade to cover my spread for a decent trade north. And then I'd have to have a close above here, taking this high out, and then I'd have to have a bullish, good bullish signal, and then my first attempt would be up there for a retest of up here. I have my doubts on that. Right, the next pair that so that's two, that's Aussie USD and the Euro USD. The next one that I'm looking at for this week is the Pound USD. All right, already taken this one down, and I have been trading this on my London breakout strategy, and if you do want any information about that, you can always talk to me in the chat room. And while I think of it, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you want access to the chat room, we can give it to you. There's some rules and regulations around it. I'm here to help. I'm looking now at this. $22 is the next level, and I have pending orders sitting under here. So long as this area of 125 holds, I'm looking for this to move down. I would prefer something like this. But bearing in mind, we could just get a sudden move down, and that would be more likely my prediction. But it's only an opinion until it's proven that it's correct. So that's the Pound USD. If I get a break above 125, I dip my toe in the water, but I will not dip my toe in the water in here. This is the key level at 125, where I dip my toe in the water, and I'd look for it to retest up here. Then I'd protect my profits, and then I'd look for a break above. But I cannot, under the present economic climate, see the pound doing that. But it is possible, because a lot of indecision candles through here. New Zealand USD is the next one that I want to look at. It's very similar to the Aussie USD. And your levels, key level here is 57. Now it bounced off there during that week where the US dollar index weakened, this strengthened. Now this is not Kiwi dollar strength. This is because the US dollar weakened, and it's the same with the Aussie USD and the Pound USD and the Euro USD. So it's a very similar setup again. This is a key area at 60 for the Kiwi, and I'm expecting the Kiwi to come lower. I've got pending orders still sitting on here. I just left them alone because they're quite safe, but I have taken a market order right in here just below 59, and I saw just before I came on to do the recording that my pending has been taken in. So that's pretty much it. I'm in the trade, and I intend, that was where my entry was, just under there. We're in, and I intend to add at the break of 59. Protecting profits, I will take my first position off around about 50-60 pips. Right, the others that are worth looking at for me this week is gold. Very simply, I mean, this was my trade up on gold, and of course it got stopped out coming back down here. But here are my levels for gold, and I am watching this with a credible amount of interest. 1640. If I get a breakthrough here, I will be taking a breakout. Now, this is not behaving normally. You would expect in the present climate and the present circumstances that gold would be a safe haven. And we saw this massive move down, and it was an opportunity to go back the other way, which we took. Now I'm watching to see where the breakout is. The reason that it came crumbling down from off around 1680, it got as high as 1700 before the coronavirus really got going, is because gold is a reserve currency. It's not just a hedge. It's not just somewhere safe where you put your money. It is a long-term investment of reserves as well. And so some of the fund managers and some of the banks who had good stocks of gold have sold their gold to stay afloat because they're looking to hold cash in this volatile market. And you need to understand that whether you like it or not, the US dollar is still king. It is the reserve currency at present in the world today. Most countries' debt is in US dollars, and market sentiment at the moment is seeing US dollar as a safe haven within these economic conditions. Now, it was a little bit doubtful about the safe haven status of the US dollar until the rescue package and support package came out from the States. That has come out now. So my expectation is that the US dollar will continue to strengthen for a little bit, at least in the short term, until this is over. And if that's the case, anything can happen. Gold could just go sideways for days through here. But that's where I want to be again in the trade. Here and here. I still have two positions open, and from way down here, the second positions, it hasn't come back because my cutoff point was 1550 and I haven't hit that. And I'm all good with that. I want to give it a chance. If I get a break up here, then my cutoff point will be 1600. I'm looking for a long-term position trade on gold because I think in the mid to long term, or once the coronavirus is over, I would not be surprised if we get a move up. But again, it's only an opinion until the market proves that it is correct. And that you've got to watch that stuff. You know, if you want to be successful traders, don't get caught up in the bullshit of all these so-called expert traders, because they come out with all these ideas. You know, I don't know if you've noticed some of the educational things that are available on there. They come out and they've got the latest and the greatest predictions. They never come off and you never hear anything more of it. But in the meantime, you've gone and bought some outrageous package because, you know, of the promises, and the promises never come to pass. So 15 here, $15 is the key area for silver. If it comes back down here, I will go again. That's where I got in right there to trade that up. Since out of that trade. So I'm not really interested in trading silver down like I am with gold. I won't touch it. But if it does decide to come down through here, I'll be looking to buy from here again. If it wants to come lower, I'm going to just be looking to buy lower. Alrighty, well, the other one I want to have a look at is WTI. And I've taken trades today on this. Now, the reason I was prepared to take some trades on this is that it had broken $20 a barrel and got down to as low as nearly 14 before it came back up. Depending on your brokerage, this will be a little different. And that's all good, depending on your broker. So I'm looking for a bottom. There was talk towards the end of last week that Russia is prepared to talk with Saudis, and it's prepared to cut back, to cooperate with the Saudis and cut back oil production. And they are going to be talking. They were supposed to be talking towards the end of last week. Now, I've yet to go through and catch up on my news. I don't know where that is. But on that news, oil moved up. And I took it. My platform is slightly different, my trading platform, than the charting software. And it has been sitting under, it had bounced off $20 a barrel, which was up in here, and it had started to move up, and it's moved up on my platform now to $29 a barrel. I just need to check that. Yeah, we're up again at $27 a barrel on my platform, WTI futures I'm trading. Okay. I want to continue to build the position, and the WTI oil, this one, I'm getting ready, and after this recording we'll be putting 2 pending orders there. The WTI futures is already starting to make a move up, as I said, and that sitting futures are sitting at just over $27 a barrel at the moment. If the talks come off, look for this to rise. I think this is an incredibly good opportunity for some big gains. If the Saudis and Russia in particular can come to an agreement and they start working together, you're going to see this continue to rise. So that's all I have for you, short and sweet. Stay safe out there. Economic calendar before I go, sorry. It's not, there's not a lot on the economic calendar this week. The ones that I am interested in is the cash rate for Australia. That's tomorrow for me. I don't think there's going to be any change, but I'm interested in what they say, or what comes out in the Reserve Bank of Australia rate statement. I want to see if it's more dovish or bearish in the outlook. So I'm looking for some confirmation of the potential trade south that I'm looking for. The OPEC meetings, they're back on and they're tentative. They're not a definite yet, but if we see them on, I'm going to be watching that very closely and with interest, because if they can come to an agreement, there's going to be some great opportunities on oil. The other one for me, I'm not too interested in any of the other stuff, is the Canadian employment change and unemployment data and unemployment claims. That is could be quite significant. I won't say it definitely is going to be significant, but I'm looking for it to follow the non-farm payroll trends from last week. And apart from that, that's it. The Canadian one's late, so that comes out on Friday for me, early hours on Friday morning. And there's some CPI stuff, but I'm not really too interested. I am going to be interested to see what the money supply year on year is in China. I know, well, for me, maybe I'm paranoid, but I don't trust China data too much. But there's inflation data coming out, and I'm going to be very interested to see how that plays out, because that's one of the key indicators. Is going to be the inflation base, domestic GDP, and the export and import stuff as well. If there's going to be a bottom in the market, you would begin to see CPI readings begin to flatten out and slowly but surely start to make a move up. Not overnight, but slowly but surely. So there you have it. Stick to your technicals if it's working. Protect your capital, take your profits when they're there, and stay safe and trade well. There's plenty of opportunity out there. Don't let the markets make you fearful and cause you to freeze so you don't trade at all. catch you in the chat room. Don't forget the subscribe button, and if you're interested in joining the chat room for any other people that might have a look at this video, just make a comment and I'll pick it up, and I'll direct you on how to get there. Okay, take care, and we'll talk to you soon. Cheers.